Do I want to make a video game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. But before you do that, let me say this: it's other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. We've got Kari in the house, and we have Vicky, who's in another room. But we're gonna jump into some Family Feud. So Kari was talking about making a video game. For those of you who don't know, Kari has a strong IT background and is into a lot of PC gaming, among other games as well. Does a lot of coding and is propositioning making a video game. So some of y'all have heard me talk about stuff like this on the YouTube channel already. So let's see what he's got to say.
So, what kind of game would you be interested in making?
So before you get into that, are these in line with the ones that you've already been testing? Because weren't you already working on a couple of games and like an app that you've been working on the last few years?
Yeah, so I put the app down. I picked everything back up because AI. I mean, love it or hate it, it makes things like coding a lot more accessible, especially for the small bits and pieces. So if there's like a small knowledge gap, like you're looking for one specific set of code to do something really specific, AI is great for being able to find that. Especially if it's like some obscure piece of code that's several versions behind some library you're trying to use. So yeah, it's sped up progress for me a lot. The last thing that I was working on was a puzzle game, because I'd already done I did Tetris and Asteroid and a few other arcade games. So after this last one that I'm working on, I'm looking to move to some action games. So definitely gonna move to more of like a Mega Man platform style game next. Once I'm done with that, I'll be looking to move into the 3D space and start trying to basically just make clones of 3D games and then just make modifications for those clones.
Those guys at Screenwave that do the AVGN games, they're like carving a lane on those Mega Man 2D 8-bit platformers.
I'll be honest, I played the game. It's okay.
Which one?
The 8-bit one.
They have like
the AVG, the
4 AVG. Okay, the one Alpha right over.
Yeah.
So that's the newest one. But they've got older ones that are on PC. They're probably a few bucks right now. Shout out James Rolfe. I feel like they made them difficult to give you that old school.
Not really that difficult.
Not for you, but for people today playing that old unforgiving. Hey, you get a finite number of lives and you got to do it over again.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, the levels are like short enough to where it's not really an issue. Like if the levels were a lot longer, I would be like, all right, man, if you got like, 10 or 12 different screens that you have to go through, and then a mini boss, and then another 10 or 12 screens, I'd be like, bro, this is bad.
I feel like they're like that.
They're not.
I feel like some of them were. Maybe not 10 to 12, but like a good 4 or 5. And one of my gripes is, and for time, which character do you want?
Let's do that guy, the guy with the hat.
Pimp named Slickback?
Yeah.
Alright. So we'll do those 3. We'll leave it at that. And we'll just pass the controller around. But yeah, I think my gripe is the cheap deaths, fall on some spikes or, the blocks, the Mega Man blocks that appear for a half second and go away. That's where I kind of just tap out and say, alright, I could be doing other things. I did this once.
And that's it.
I've beaten all the Mega Mans. I'm not trying to relive it
Yeah.
in a different one.
I feel like for his game, the latest game that came out, one of my biggest gripes were getting some type of reward after you beat the boss. I feel like for me that was definitely like one of the things that I was expecting, especially from like a Mega Man type title where it's like, you get this power after you beat this boss and kind of use these other power-ups against these other bosses, which I thought was great, and not having that in that game was only a little disappointing
to guess the
because it
answers.
felt
We've
closer
got
to
more
something like a
survey questions.
Castlevania with a
Find the
gun.
most popular answers to
And
clear the board and take the rounds.
I guess it's okay,
Whoever scores the most
you know,
points
to
gets
play
to
like
play
Castlevania
fast
with
money,
a gun as
where you
opposed
can
to
win
like,
$20,000.
you know, a Mega Man style
It's time to
game.
get
But
mutant. Here we go.
I feel like for the level design and things like that, I was expecting more up-to-date level
Let's
designs
kick things off.
as
with our
opposed to
first
like
round.
the old style design of
Two
levels.
people
Like
up front.
we can do better.
I'll hold that thought because I was going to ask a question, but also trying to.
Try to win.
There are 5 answers on the board. Buzz in first to get a shot at answering our survey. If you can find the top answer, you'll choose if your family plays or passes the round. We asked 100 people the following. If you were dressing up as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz for a costume party, what would you use in your outfit? You're up first.
Slippers.
Ruby red slipper.
Hold up. What did I put? There we go. It should be good enough just to put slippers up there.
Is it there? Slippers. That's the number 1 answer.
Now, if I got it wrong and they were like, you had to put ruby, that would have been messed up. But it wouldn't surprise me.
Remember mine, new baby? I put baby. And it didn't take it.
Okay, so she has.
Let's play it.
Yeah, she has the
Let's
dress.
see
You
if
gotta have
can
that.
sweep up the rest.
And I guess the hair.
What color was her hair?
I mean, it was just, but it was in like the pigtails or braids.
Isabel actually dressed up as Dorothy.
That's your answer.
And we had
What
a
did
little,
our survey
little bitty
say?
chihuahua that was only like this big.
Dress.
And she carried him.
We're in the points. What's your answer?
I would say hair or a wig or something like that.
I was gonna say dog.
But the dog is not part of your outfit.
Well, yeah, I guess it was.
You can try.
Said with confidence. There aren't many answers left. Is it there? Dog.
Oh, I don't see.
Excellent job.
How is that part of? That's not part of the outfit, but they took it.
There's
So,
only 2 answers left up there.
Number 2 answer.
yep, that's weird. Not only was I was like, maybe it'll be number 5 or whatever. Let's do hair.
Like a
Oh, hair ribbons,
There you go.
because she does have those.
All right. Let's take a look.
What?
That's your first
It's
strike.
still definitely a wig or something
Yeah.
like that. That's still part of it. And the fact that it succinctly put hair with ribbons was like, okay, they knew that that's the
What
answer.
would
Let
you
me put,
use in your
braid.
outfit?
Let me try braids.
I was yeah, braids.
I was thinking wig too, but I was like, hair should be fine.
That's good. And our survey says braids.
It was exactly
It is almost
braids.
clear.
So
Your guess, buddy.
braids. You got the blue dress.
Basket.
Yeah, she is carrying like
Oh,
some
she
of
did have a
that.
basket. I was gonna say bucket of water, but that works too.
That's what you think, huh?
Somebody said that's a great answer.
Will this make a clean
He
sweep?
didn't seem
Let's
like it
find
was.
out.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
But that's it.
That's it. You got
And
it.
that board is clear.
All right.
You win this round. Here's what the scores look like after that round.
I need a better applause there. Okay.
The first points of the game are on the scoreboard.
You guys didn't even get the play.
They didn't even get to try.
Just do it again.
Are you
Just hit the
ready for a
buzzer.
face-off?
Give him nothing.
All right. Give me 2 people.
Make it seem like we're playing by ourselves. I'd be so mad if that happened to me in real life, though.
We've got 5 answers up on the board.
I might
Get
tackle
ready
somebody.
to buzz in. We took a survey of 100 people, asking them, name a flavor of Lifesaver. Nice reflexes, Tex.
I just call them by the colors. I don't know what the flavors are.
Cherry. Yeah.
Oh, is there a cinnamon one? There is a cherry one for sure. Just hit the R button.
Alrighty then. Our survey said, cherry.
That was number 1 by like 63. So what are these other nasty flavors?
It's gonna be lemon.
You wanna play it?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are braver than me. I wasn't trying
Lemon,
to.
lime.
You gotta play after a great answer like that.
Is there not a
I
watermelon?
think grape. I don't think there's a watermelon.
There's definitely lime.
You
and
got
lemon.
anything for
Yeah,
us?
lime, lemon, grape, I think.
Orange.
Orange.
Nice. Survey
Pulled up
says,
a different scene just for
that's not
this.
up there.
Oh,
So here's your first
pineapple
strike.
too, I think.
The watermelon is one.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So what's your guess gonna be?
I put orange.
And it didn't take it?
It didn't take
It didn't take it. Orange is up there though.
Okay. Well. Like I said, I think there's pineapple.
See, it's not that it's not a flavor. You have to get the most popular ones that they're saying.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
And that evidently isn't one.
Got another strike on the board.
But it says the famously classic 5.
Name a flavor of Lifesaver.
Here.
What do you want? Just tell me.
Just put it in pineapple.
All right.
Sure thing. Let's see if it's there. Pineapple.
And there's like the
Let's go.
mint. I thought there was like the winter green, but because that is one, the lifesaver. That
Oh,
like the
yeah.
breath
It's up to
mint
you, 2
lifesaver.
strikes. Think you got it?
What do you want? I would say try mint. But,
Yeah, I would try mint.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Because I don't think it's gonna let me put in winter mint.
And then I would try lime after that.
Good. Okay. Will that be one of the missing answers? Mint.
Wow.
3 strikes.
It's gonna be interesting
The
to see
other
what this
hand gets
is.
a chance to steal. One answer will do it, and they can steal the round. Dig deep. Give me a correct answer, and you snatch these points from the other team. I see where you're going with this.
Maybe that's what it is instead
Show
of
me the
orange.
answer.
I know there is an orange.
Tangerine.
Oh, we did it.
Now I'm just really curious. What are these? Because if they couldn't do it, then you know, what are we
In a
doing?
row, my friends. That's 2 rounds in a row. Let's tidy up those pesky missing answers. Time for 5. Raspberry.
That was up there.
What was
Yeah.
behind number
Nobody was
4?
getting raspberry.
Strawberry.
Nobody's buying raspberry.
What was hiding behind slot number 2? Passion
Gosh.
fruit.
Ew! No, come on.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Here's
No
how things
lime?
are shaping up so
No
far.
lemon?
Yeah.
The classic? Nah, bro. Get out of here.
One fan is in the lead. The other, well, let's just say they're biding their time for the moment.
Damn. You gotta tell them like that.
It's time for a face-off. All right, people, get up here and do your families proud.
Okay.
I'm gonna need 5 answers to this question. Ooh, things are heating up. Points are doubled now. We took a survey, 100 people. Name something Elvis Presley will always be remembered for. You're up.
Dying? Dancing. It's gotta be dancing. But you could put singing. Singing is probably the #1 answer.
True.
But then it's like singing what? Hound dog?
Singer?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
singing. Whatever.
Okay. Do we have it?
Huh.
Singer.
What?
Oh, swing and a miss. You still have the #1 answer up there, just waiting to be found. Name something
They're
Elvis
gonna get it.
Presley will
They're totally
always
gonna
be
get it.
remembered for.
Should have said rock and roll or something.
Dancing.
We have an answer. Did our survey agree?
Yeah. It's not the
Dancing.
#1 answer.
All right, the answer is on the board. It's make up your mind time. Pass or play.
But he reminds me like the Burger King guy with that crown on.
You're playing.
You gotta watch this movie called The Founder, where it shows
It's your
how
go. What do you think?
Ray Kroc took McDonald's.
Yeah.
Interesting answer.
It's a really good movie.
Is it up
I've seen
there?
it.
Show me. Music. Top of the board. You look like someone who's got a good guess for us.
His hair was brown. He kind of
okay.
looked like that guy that was
I
on
wanna
the
see
roast
that
last
answer.
night.
Oh, the crappy guy.
Yeah.
Nope, not up there. So here's your first strike.
The Burger King guy or Lucky?
No, this guy, the one that's
Name
he had
something
brown
Elvis
hair.
Presley will
He would
always
look like the
be
one that they
remembered
kept
for.
making fun of for being gay.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yes.
Okay then.
The guy at the end with the gray hair.
Is that answer up there?
Yeah.
Movies.
I was gonna say, I don't remember any Elvis movies.
Yeah, he was in lots of movies. You just need to ask my mom. She's an
Look sharp.
Elvis freak.
Another strike and you lose control of this round.
I mean, he's the king, and you got the guy with the crown there.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Do we have a
When
right
my brother
answer?
was little, you asked him who his daddy was, he would say Elvis.
Style.
Wow,
Live
Style
with you
was
to
fire.
Friday. For now.
I don't know what those last ones are. If Style was up there.
And now it's your guess.
Memphis, okay.
Yes. Is that one of the ones we're still looking for? Memphis.
Oh,
He played a guitar too.
Strike. Now it's the other family's turn.
this is their category. I don't know anything. I don't care enough about Elvis.
Voice.
So.
I mean, we
The music is already
All
up
We
there.
never
need is
did
one
do
right
dying,
answer,
right?
And this family can steal the
So I
points.
figured he'd be
Oh,
known for his,
Graceland.
Name
Oh, maybe,
something
yeah.
Elvis Presley will always be remembered for.
Is that not it? It's got to be the amusement park.
and that was one of his movies too.
But it doesn't look like it's showing up.
No. Okay. Guess not.
he put it in
You
there.
sure about that?
No.
Let's see what the survey says. That's not the one.
Swing and a miss.
Let's see what you missed. Show me number 5. Death.
What I said in jest. What I said in jest.
Where? How are our families doing? Let's see. This
They're beating
game is
us.
shaping up to be a real
All right.
thriller. I can't
We
wait
still
to
got
see
this.
who comes out on top. Nowhere near as painful as it sounds, it's the face-off. Who's gonna join me up here? I need someone from each family. The top 4 answers are on the board. Triple points in play now. You better make sure your answers count. We asked 100 people. Name something that's hairy. You're first. Ah, yes. Let's see if that's a good answer. Monkey. That's at the tippy top of the board. Now here's the million-dollar question. Play or pass?
I was like, balls, and it was too late.
They're handing it over. This is your chance.
I can't put that on there. Cannot put that on there.
Have you got some food for thought?
Oh, they gave it to us?
Oh, they did? Oh, shit. A dog? I don't know. What do you got?
I think that's a good answer. I was going to say ape, but monkeys.
Monkeys already there.
Yeah. Got it. And what did our survey say? Dog.
What? Okay, so cat.
Head?
It's not there.
No, I don't think it's going to be all
you got
animals.
yourself a strike.
Armpits?
I'm gonna need your guess.
Right. Something that's hairy?
Cat? I mean, you said it earlier. I couldn't even get the warning. Viewer discretion is advised. But... And cat does not show up there, so...
Or you only got 8 seconds.
All right, let's try it.
No, that's a strike.
Let's see if that's a correct answer. Cattle.
Arms?
That's your second strike right there.
Try arms.
You try.
Something that's really hairy?
One more
So I said
strike, and
armpits.
the other family gets to try for a steal.
If arms isn't up there, we're just gonna have to take an L.
I think this is our last.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Is that one of the remaining answers? Armpit.
And we took an
Oh,
L.
no. Strike 3. Oh, our other family has a chance to steal.
How did we not get one?
All we need is one answer, and this family can steal around. If it's up there, you steal the points. If not, they go to the other
Should
family.
have said legs. Hairy legs.
Yeti.
Yep. Is it up there? Yeti. You've blown it.
I'll take it! I'll take it!
You win. So the points go over here. You missed some answers. Let's see what they are.
There's gonna be some nonsensical shit up here.
What's the fourth answer? Chewbacca.
Because, you know, we were going to put
Show
that.
me the number 3
Cousin
answer. Bear.
Bear. Oh, should have got
Here
that
comes
one.
number
Thank
2.
you for watching the streams.
Bigfoot.
No.
And we finally run out of rounds.
Even the
So,
clapping
what
on
are the
TV
final
is
scores?
kind of lackluster for that.
I think.
Because monkey is something real. The rest of those...
But they should have. Or they should
Bear.
have just been like name a creature.
Name an
that's
animal.
Yeah, that's hairy.
The dream team of champions has been defeated.
I'm your champion now. Oh, wait. It's not over. Fast money.
What should we do now? Oh, I know. Let's play Fast Money. I need 2 people. I'm Lucky McCoy, and I've got a feeling you're going to be lucky. But who's playing with you?
Who wants to... Okay.
I guess it's me.
She pointed at him and that was
It's
all.
time to play.
It was just decided that quickly.
I don't type it. I
You're
was
going to go first.
really good.
I'm going to ask you 5 survey
hard for
questions,
me.
which you'll
I
answer
don't
against the
have
clock.
good.
If you and
hand-eye
your teammate
coordination,
can score
like-
more than 200 points,
Well-
you'll
You
win the
crochet.
challenge.
I know, but it's not the same. I don't remember
Ready?
what buttons do what.
Start the
and
clock.
all that kind of stuff.
Name something associated with Popeye the Sailor Man.
Spinach. See, we're not playing against like
Name
other
something
people
the
here.
nicest jail in the world would have in every cell for the prisoners.
Oh, bad.
TV.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put bed. You can put
Give me
TV.
the title of a
I would say
scary
toilet,
movie
but-
people consider to be a classic.
I'm gonna put Psycho.
Name a card game that's popular with children.
Uno.
Go fish.
Go fish.
Okay. And then I guess you can put Uno.
Name the first thing a 100-year-old man might reach for when he wakes up.
You know, I would say glasses. No, I'm gonna stick with teeth. You can put glasses. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We're done.
I think glasses might be the answer. 100 years old.
It's time for your
Maybe.
teammate to have a go.
All right, you got this, man.
I'm not gonna lie, going second is a little tougher. I'm gonna ask you the same 5 questions. Don't duplicate any answers, because if you do, I'll need another one. Your time starts now. Name something associated with Popeye the Sailor Man.
His muscles.
Yeah, or pipe. He's got that pipe. And he's got that hat. He has a mustache?
Muscles.
Oh, he's put mustache. I was about to say.
Name something the nicest jail in the world would have in every cell for the
It's gonna
prisoners.
be alright. I like to take things slow.
Hush, Flower.
Give me the title of a scary movie people consider to be a classic.
I mean, I wasn't gonna type Friday the 13th out, but
Chucky.
okay, go for that.
The
I don't-
Exorcist.
I think Exorcist is a better answer, but you can put Chucky if you want.
Might not be up there.
It's
Oh, yeah,
there.
it's up there.
Name a card game that's popular with children.
Said Uno.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say old maid or something.
Name the first thing a 100-year-old man might reach for when he wakes up.
Glasses.
That's everything.
Viagra would not
Now
been
you
an
can
answer.
relax. That was the final question.
Pussy.
Let's
At
move
100,
both of our
I don't know
players
if
out
you're reaching for
and
that.
see how they did.
Said as soon as you said man, they always reaching for something.
Breast.
Yeah.
For starters, we asked.
How do you think I got
Name
this
something
far,
associated
sonny
with
boy?
Popeye the Sailor
How do you think
Man.
I stay young?
You answered. I think you could be pleased with those answers. A top
Oh, muscles
answer.
is 42.
For question 2, we asked, name something the nicest jail in the world would have in every cell for the prisoners. The answers to this
I
one,
think bed was too low.
2 impressive answers here. We've got a top answer.
Bed was like standard.
You remember the third question, right? It was, give me the title of a scary movie people consider to be a classic. Here are your answers. How many of our 100 people said
Hopefully I can
these?
redeem myself at this one.
At
Oh,
least
wow.
One of them got some points. The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was worth the most points. We asked you, name a card game that's popular with children. So you said, you ought to be happy with those answers.
Please, enough points to get us over. Yeah. Okay, 65.
when's the win?
We did it.
You won.
That got us right over the hump. I was thinking we might need the last question to squeeze in there, but
Right.
65 points, go fish, yes.
You just won 20,000
Yes.
bucks. How does that feel? That concludes the feud. We'll see you all again very soon.
Put the
Goodbye.
clothes in the washer.
All right.
Maybe stream it next week. Might be a little.
That'd be cool. You
Later
can just put
than
them
that.
on maybe this one.
Have you guys eaten yet?
I have not.
But
You guys want some food?
Like step out and get food? Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah, I'll turn it on, but take some of it out too. Alright. Bye.
Okay, this was a quick one. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We got the win, so we're not gonna let them get a chance to rematch. Honestly, I feel like we stole it from them because that one. It was one round. I've already purged it from my memory because I was frustrated. Was it the lifesavers?
Yeah, that was
And
some bullshit.
it was like none of the flavor. Like, spoilers. Or I'm gonna admit, I could Google the answers, and the answers that was given
Still wrong.
still were wrong. And these were like the classic ones.
Yes.
So who are these people they're asking? How old are these people? Were they asking 5-year-olds? Who or people who even buys lifesavers that aren't the mint flavors? I don't know anybody who buys them.
Like the regular flavors are not like
Those are at like doctor's
I was
offices
gonna say,
or
I
hospitals.
used to eat them as a kid, the flavored ones.
Yeah, the cherry one, which was #1, that's the one I say all the time. But the green one, where was that at?
Where's lime? Where's lemon?
No, there's like a, not a Yoshi green, but a pickle green
Yeah.
lifesaver, and those are the ones that I mess with. And then the nasty yellow ones, the lime ones, I give those away. And there is a pineapple one.
Yeah.
But then the mint,
The mint was.
that should have been #1.
They also have a butterscotch like cold
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
too.
Like
So,
like raspberry.
and then they weren't.
passion fruit.
Then they tried to screw us with the hairy question. I was like, hold on. Like you said, it should have said animal. I'm thinking animals the whole time. And I was like, oh, it wasn't a dog?
Right.
Yeah.
One of those hairy things that's everywhere? Dog? No? Okay, how about cat? No? And then you're telling me Chewbacca?
Right. Like who's thinking of that?
Well, if you're using Chewbacca and Yeti and Bigfoot, how is monkey still #1?
Right.
That should have been King Kong.
There we go. Yeah.
Or some kind of fictional
Yeah.
character, and I would have been like, oh, there's a theme there.
See,
Right.
slowest thinker. That's why, because I can't type that.
Best answer, Ruby Slippers, which was really just slippers is what I thought. Alright, so we're going to pause here. You were trying to eat now, or do a Mario Party and eat? You're trying to eat right now? Okay.
Eating them peel out because tonight's gonna be long.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to ask you about the video game stuff. Because have you ever played a game called Chips Challenge?
No.
It was on Windows 3.1. It came with like a bunch of games like Free Cell and
I remember Free Cell. I still play Free Cell
Free
today.
Cell, Minesweeper, some mouse game, the Abominable Snowman, Ski Free. It was like a extra set of games that you could pay for. But I was like, I could do a copy of this because it's like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Bomberman. And Bomberman is a lot of fun, so I was like, oh, I could do this and then turn this into Bomberman or possibly Gauntlet, if you play Gauntlet. Yeah, once I get that together, I'm gonna do a Zelda clone, and then unless you want me to make a game where you're trying to do a platformer, then I'm like pushing those other ones to the side, jumping straight to the platformer.
I don't remember the program that we're using, but her son, they gave them, it was like Unreal and Riot and another studio made a software that is heavily using AI where they could just drag and drop actions, and the actions had all the code filled in for them. And they basically made a platformer, like they were jumping on different platforms, and it was very basic for only 2 days, but in 2 days I probably could have made Mario in 2 days. I would have had all the assets, but I would have never went to sleep.
I'll put it to you like
Because
this.
I would have just copied all the assets from the internet and said, this is my background. And I wanted to say to him, why didn't you just get a background off the internet? Why did you use this
I
stock
think
background?
his friends were supposed to download the stuff, and they dropped the ball on the stuff.
I was like, it doesn't have to be a Mario looking background. It could have been a Windows beach background or clouds, and that would have looked pretty, and then you could have still had the ugly characters. You know, they took some Pokemon and made it like the Goomba that was jumping up and down. And that was cool. It was cool for what they did, but that's something we could have never done at their age because we wouldn't have had the sponsors.
Yeah, even without the sponsors, when we talk about like AI, it's stupid the things that you can do with it from a programming perspective, because a lot of the issue was I had anyways is with things like Unreal Engine, Unity, and stuff like that. There's a lot of overhead.
Maybe that's what it was. Was it? Maybe it was called Unity.
But there's like a lot of overhead.
No, it wasn't Unity.
I was just asking.
But it was. But Unity might have been the third company.
Yeah, because I know there's Unreal Engine.
It was sponsored by Unreal, Riot, and one other company, and they all made like a program that they could use to make these games. And in 48 hours, some of these people had Portal. They had a game that looked pretty much like Portal, and I was like, how do they have that and y'all have like the Mario knockoff? Y'all have the Temu Mario is what you got over here.
Curiosity. It's curiosity.
Yeah.
Like some people like figure out how to be curious earlier than others, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
But I've been spoiled by seeing imagination from other people that then became prerequisite for me. So when I say to them, hey, you should have a button here that, or text telling me what's happening, that keeps me engaged. If I have to fully think about what's happening every time, you're going to lose me. I'm going to get bored. But if you constantly have messages like game over or nice try or something that sounds like I can do this, reassuring me, I'm going to keep trying. And I was like, no, you need to put that on the screen.
You didn't like the Dark Souls games, did you?
No, that was fine, but that's not Mario.
That's true.
This isn't one of these roguelikes, or these games that punish you for that. This is supposed to be cute and casual, and a cute casual game like even Frogger should have just have something simple, game over, and then you're like, can I do better than that?
Yeah.
But if it's like you failed or you're terrible, I don't even know if he had anything up there. It's just gonna make you. It's gonna pull you out of it. I think I've wanted him to have like the number of lives and like the time. He didn't have anything like that up there. No timer. But the controls were awful, but they were pretty good. They were pretty good for that program. Like when I say awful, they weren't necessarily awful. They weren't tight, and you were using a keyboard. So if he had like a controller, it might have been a little bit smoother. You couldn't hold a button to guide the jump. You had to already be moving before you jumped to make sure he landed directly on the platform. You didn't have the control over
you couldn't do like air movements.
Correct.
Because the old Mario games you really didn't have much air movement.
There was no momentum. There was no button you could hold to run. And all those things were like, yo, I know all these things because I'm playing this all the time. I wish I could have been there at the start of the hours about, look guys, we're just going to make Mario, but make it your own. And that's what we're going to do in 48 hours. And if in the first 24 you can get it looking good, then we can add all the extra stuff, the extra sauce on it.
Yeah.
He said Maya and Unreal Engine.
Maya? I would say...
That's not what the program was.
Yeah, the games that I wrote recently, I did them all in JavaScript and HTML. I had them all run out of like a single program, just so it'd be easier for AI to edit. Myself as well, but I was like, I just wanted to see. And sure enough, it'll do it, for sure.
Now you got to ask him what was the software on the computer that had all of that in there.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
No, but she's texting him to ask him what it was called, the program.
Current rate of progress, I would say...
Because Maya was what they used to design the 3D images.
Okay, yeah.
But they had Unreal Engine that was running all the programs, but it was executing like basic code. So all that together, they could just have the scene. Like I have scenes here, they could just run those scenes, and it's just up to the person to do what they're doing. And then the scenes would execute themselves. Scenes being death, success, or
whatever it is.
Enemy response, whatever those were, those commands. It would just run those depending on what you, the user, did. And it was just awesome to watch all that. But yeah, we're rambling. We'll probably take a break. May come back with some Mario Party. I know some of y'all probably you know, you're like, hey, you're not playing the Mario Party, and you said you were. Yeah, I get it.
We can play it.
It'll just be two people playing, because he's got to peel out. So we'll get something to eat. We'll take a break, and we will return. Make sure we get these points. And commercial.
When it's least expected, you're elected, you're the star today.
So I'm pretty sure any gas has
Your Game Boy camera. It's fun to look at yourself as other people do. How's your sense of humor? There's a rumor laughter's on its way. Smile, you're on Game Boy camera.
Yes, with Game Boy camera, you can turn photography into photography.
You're on Game